Baseball-Halloween is back. Omaha Storm Chasers in Warner Park coming up on October 22nd.
Are we? I mean, we talked to Marty about this. I think it's over 10 years they've been doing this. This is like the event, and it's back after 2020.
I know. Ugh.
Right? And like you said, if you want to come out in full costume, bring out the family, it's free admission. The gates open at 5:00. And he says the way they see it, generally they're kind of waves. The younger ones generally come a little earlier, and then the older kids a little later. You don't have to do that, though. You can come out anytime between 5 and 8.
And spend the whole 3 hours, but you need to RSVP. In the link, there's a link in our description of this podcast. You can also go on our Facebook page. We shared it there as well. Or go to Omaha Storm Chasers Facebook page, click on the link and RSVP.
Exactly. And Hurrdat, very proud to be a sponsor this year of Baseball-Halloween, along with a lot of other vendors that are going to be out there, and they'll have their little Chotsky tables, and Pat and I are going to be out there too, and we want to see you.
See you guys October 22nd.
Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
All right.
You guys can text us at 402-403-9478. Let me see. I might have got some texts, actually.
You go ahead and check that.
I'm going to go look in here real quick on my on my phone.
It's really interesting because when Pat starts looking for something on his phone, his mouth stops working. He can't do both. It's kind of like you got to turn down the radio so you can see better when you're driving.
My mouth doesn't work very well anyway. But yeah, I don't know.
While you're looking for that, you go ahead. While you're looking for that, Andrew's in the studio with us.
Hello.
And welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
This is great. How long have you... Okay, first we've got to explain. Andrew works with us.
Yes.
And you've been with Hurrdat now how long?
This is my 4th week.
You've gotten a lot done in 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's still pretty new.
Yeah.
Working in a podcast network. Never done that before, but I've been in marketing and social media and content creation for over 9 years now. So
we need to call this segment Hurrdat.
Hurrdat. We'll call it Hurrdat. That's not. How did you think of that while you were looking for something else?
My brain still works. My mouth doesn't.
That was really good. I actually really like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh my God, did you find what you were looking for?
No, I didn't.
Okay, never mind. So you've been here a month. Any surprises, or like was it everything you were expecting, or was it not as difficult as you thought it was going to be, or easier than what's your take?
I think always starting a new department inside of an already established company is kind of a whole process in its own. So I kind of came on board to help structure and process some of the podcast shows that are going on. And so, like, for example, I'm on one called Hollywood Raw. And we have done a lot of redesign, complete content strategy structure and a calendar.
And the guys love you for it.
Yeah.
Because they were looking for direction.
Thankfully.
It's trying to train a couple cats, though, that are running all over the place. They're getting better, and they like it. But, yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Right?
No, but we're making some really good things happen. And soon coming up for your guys' show as well.
I know.
So there's going to be some really special things that are really specific to your guys' demographic here in like the Omaha Midwest area. So I'm super excited for that too.
Yep. We need that too because we need to make it more of a priority. It's hard
to get you guys out there in the community.
That's what we've been trying to do for the last 2 years, but then we always let something else get in the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it was always a business, and you couldn't we didn't feel like we could put our stuff ahead of somebody that was paying to do something. Like, well, we can't do that.
Yeah. But it's going to be a lot of fun. That's great.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
So our podcast, then, were you familiar with our podcast before you came here?
Truthfully, no.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
That's totally fine.
I've heard your guys' names because, like I've said, you guys I think know my friend Coriel who's in Lincoln that works at a radio station. So I was like kind of familiar with some of like the radio names and people in Nebraska, but I had never like met you guys, and I wasn't living in Omaha. So I've heard of you guys, but I had no idea you guys were on a podcast, which is so cool. And I think a lot of people don't know that. So I really want to bring attention to like where people can find your show and connect with you guys again.
It's true for the people that do listen. God, we appreciate y'all. I mean, just like, and the interaction that we have on social media is so awesome. And some of you we've never talked to, and that's okay too. You don't have to be, like all over Facebook or Twitter or anything like that.
Yeah.
But after we had Sweet Stock, we saw this influx all of a sudden of new people following.
Yeah. Because we're in it, and we see our own social media all the time or whatever. We think, well,
Yeah.
it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook. People probably know, but they just don't know.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be
Yep.
doing like in the next few months for you guys to like end out this year and this like last quarter is really get you guys out there in the community and show people, hey, we're back on air. We're just not on the radio anymore. We have
And
our
it's much
own
better.
show.
Right? We get
Yeah.
to talk and say what we want, and we can
And-
cuss sometimes. and we,
And one thing that really impresses me about you guys is you guys have this Facebook group. So if anyone's listening and they're not on your guys' Facebook group, if you guys go to their Facebook page, just Pat and JT Podcast, I believe, they have a group connected to their podcast page and it has over 3,000 people in there who are curating some amazing conversation
fun.
topics.
they're a lot of fun.
And if you
Yeah.
want to like post in there, connect with Pat and JT, that's a really good area to connect with people and also Pat and JT. And who knows, like if you're posting something interesting in there, we might just call you up and have you on the show.
Which it could very easily happen. Actually, we were thinking about that with our Facebook Fridays. We kind of talked about that of maybe incorporating a live segment. Well, it is live, but a segment where we can bring some people in and kind of do a little
I'll go, hey, how you doing?
AMA
Well, how you doing?
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or I guess it'd be a AUA. Ask us anything.
Yeah, whatever.
Something like that.
Whatever, yeah.
I don't know. But, do something like that where we could have part of our Facebook Fridays, bringing people in if they wanted to come in and,
Yeah, it'd be super fun.
right? So we may have to get that rolling.
Yeah. So if you're
Yeah.
a listener, go join the group and then write to Pat and JT in there. They're going to be going through it and reading it, and so am I.
Yep.
And if there's something interesting, we might just call you up and have you on the show.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Well, and you've got a pretty big social following as well on TikTok,
Oh, gosh.
right?
Yeah. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
It's all, but your stuff's great.
Yeah, I actually just got into TikTok this year, just because clients were interested in doing it for their accounts, and I was like, okay, well, I never just do something without testing the waters myself first. So I just started getting into TikTok, learning everything I could about the algorithms, what's trending, what works, how people decide or make the decision to follow you, like once they feel connected to your account or your personality. And so I started mine just for fun, and my just for fun testing things for clients has gotten me to like 23,000 on TikTok.
That's awesome.
And I mostly just post about, like, I stay really true to who my audience is and really what I want this account to be for, which is Nebraska-based content. And so I can like confidently say that probably 90% of my following on there is Nebraska-based.
Yep. That
So-
would make sense.
yeah.
But that's true. That's a good thing, I think, talking about just podcasts in general and any social media is you put the content out that you're looking for. You put the content out that you, and then just stay true to your lane. Don't worry about if somebody doesn't like something. That's
Yeah.
okay. Because there's going to be a group there somewhere. As I say, if you just stay true to what you do and you keep doing it, you will find your tribe. And
Yeah.
and there are going to be people that are looking for the same thing that you're
Right.
putting out there. Don't be all things to all people.
Yeah.
That's
It
exhausting.
never, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. No.
I always say, like, I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me, but I know my people are out there.
Exactly.
And so you really have to focus on who your people are and curate content for them.
there you go.
And that's, I think, the easiest way to grow is
Yes.
content with intention.
So how do they find you?
I end up,
How can they find you on TikTok?
it's just Andrea L. Norris,
Okay.
but I end up on the For You page in Nebraska all the time.
Okay.
Just because my Nebraska or my content is based towards people living in this area. So
Okay.
once people start seeing it and engaging with it, it ends up on the For You page. And then a bunch of people from this area feel connected because they're like, oh my gosh, a TikToker in Nebraska.
Right.
Because there's not that many of us.
Pat just found out what the FYP was.
For You page?
Yeah, and I just use
FYP.
it a lot.
He says FYP.
I knew it a long time ago, but now I use it a
Right.
lot.
He
I
knows.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
FYP.
A long time ago.
And
Okay.
6 months ago. Whatever.
and that's where I go to like explore and find new accounts that like
Yeah.
have my interest besides Nebraska too. It's a good way to find people that you connect with. And so like if your videos can get on that page, people will see it and then follow you because they have something in common with you. Because everyone's For You page is completely different.
Oh, you're telling me.
And the stuff on mine is nothing like what's on
Right.
right?
No.
Yeah. That's one thing that's super scary. Like, would you guys feel comfortable showing the world what's on your For You page? Because it's your specific niche interest.
Right?
What's funny, yeah, I mean, because we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
You'd think I was diabetic, keto, smoker.
What?
Right, like it was weird, like all this weird stuff,
Yeah.
and because a lot of chefs, a lot of cooking, a lot of iPhone tips you didn't know about, number 53, whatever, that one, and then the things that you didn't want to buy on Amazon, number 900, whatever, all those are on there, and then. But my lives, it's what's really weird is like, you know, when you're swiping through and it shows that somebody on the For You page is doing a live at that time.
Yeah.
Every single one. And I don't know why, because I've never watched other than Meathead Test Kitchen. I've watched their TikTok live, but I've never watched any other ones. And it's all like these just like girls, and they're just sitting there. One of them was just eating.
Yeah.
And the other one was like doing her hair and this thing in the corner, and she's just doing her hair.
You're having, oh my God.
It's the weirdest.
I get like tarot card readers.
Okay.
And astrologists.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you've been engaging with chef videos and like tips for your iPhone videos, if you like them or watch them all the way through, TikTok thinks you like those, so they're going to give you more.
Well, I don't actually like them, but I enjoy them, and so I will watch them all the way through. I've never, I'm not following anybody that does iPhone tips or whatever, and I've never liked one.
Never.
But if you're watching them all the way through once or twice, TikTok algorithm is like, oh, this person likes it because he's not swiping up to the next video.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's why they're showing you more and more of that.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind. I actually
that's funny.
boosted my earphone volume inside my settings based on iPhone
Look
tip
at
81.
you.
Oh my God.
Learning new tricks.
That's right.
Look at old dog go.
That's right.
Amazing.
I have lots of cats and cowboys
Yeah.
that are annoying.
Cats and cowboys.
A lot of ranchers on TikTok. There are
yes.
a lot of ranchers.
It's
and they're
because
good
you
at
like
it.
Yellowstone. You're a big Yellowstone gal, and so
Yeah.
they're gonna show you like these hot cow. I get that too. That's something that's on my For You page.
Hot cowboys.
Well, the cowboys.
Hot cowboys.
It is crazy how good they are, and some of the ranchers that are out in harvest right now. Some of the TikToks they do, they're really good at it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, and why not? They're sitting there in this like $500,000 machine that is completely programmed. Like, I mean, they're more cutting edge than people give them credit for.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy big, actually TikTok farmers in Nebraska.
Farmers and ranchers both. You'll see them out there, and like watching some of the ranch dogs doing tricks and doing things are out, you know, like herding cattle and getting some. I love watching those. I love watching the dogs work. But yeah, there's some really good ones that are on there. So yeah, there's a lot of cowboys in.
I've never seen that on my FYP.
That's so funny.
Well, I'm glad to know that
You
we
got
have
young
that in
girls
common.
doing their hair.
I know, right? Oh,
also a
God.
little
I need to
weird.
reevaluate a lot.
That's awesome.
And I wonder if it's because I've follow my daughter who's 16, and also if like one of her friends pop up, I just want to make sure they're not doing anything inappropriate.
So you watch those, so then you get more young girls.
Gosh, dang it, that's why.
That's why.
Because I follow her and a lot of her friends just to keep an eye on.
So they think
stuff
that's
going
your
on.
interest now.
Ew.
You need a burner.
Ew.
Like
I feel
Abby.
filthy.
You need like a second account so you can go do that and it not follow
That's
you.
what they think I'm a perv.
Well, actually,
do.
What's interesting about that, so I'm logged into multiple TikTok accounts on my phone, and no matter what TikTok account I'm on, whether it's Hollywood Raw, my personal, or a different business or anything like that, my For You page is always the same no matter what TikTok I'm logged into. So I think it goes more based off of like your phone.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
It
makes
goes
sense.
off of your phone.
Not how you log in. It's not your
No,
login. It's
because
your,
like that Hollywood Raw one should just be Hollywood gossip,
That's a
the
good point.
latest celeb
It's based on
news,
your
and
phone.
it's not.
interesting.
It's based on my phone and the data that
Interesting.
TikTok's collecting throughout your whole phone. Because if you go in, like their what's it called, like the data and
Like-
the thing that you sign that
Like-
no
Oh,
one
the
reads.
release, the privacy statement, or the
authorization or
release,
Yeah,
authorization
they have
agreements.
authorization to like every piece of data on your phone.
That's when that first came out. When TikTok first came out, it was like, well, first off, because the ownership was traced to China.
Yeah.
Right. And so a lot of people are like, excuse me, hold on, what are we agreeing to here? You know.
But then after a while, it got so fun. We're like, well, who cares?
Well, I don't think
Everyone's like, take my data. I want to watch TikTok.
I want to swipe for hours.
swiping. And I think some ownership has changed hands along the way. But at first, yeah, it was like, whoa, Hold on, stop. But I've got it somewhere.
So that kind of like explains a little bit of how the For You page works.
Yeah.
So in case anyone was interested.
That's
well,
crazy.
that's
Okay,
interesting.
since we're talking social media, let's talk about this super follower thing on Twitter.
Oh gosh.
Which just started showing up on the Android users pages because it first was only for iPhones, right? And they roll it out, and it's like Patreon. You won't see, like, I haven't seen a button yet to allow me to super follow somebody, but the button is different, and it'll say you can follow or you can super follow. And if you super follow, it takes you to another page where you can pick a plan for like $2.99 a month, $4.99 a month, or $6.99 a month, something like that. But it's weird numbers. And then you get additional content, supposedly, because these people sign up to have super followers. They're like, you know what? Hey, I'd like to have super followers. How do I do that? And so Twitter tells you how to qualify for that. And so if somebody super follows you, then you have other stuff that you put out there only they can see.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is I first came across this just yesterday. And it was like, it was a dog account, whatever. And I noticed somebody had responded, and it's somebody that I follow. It had their name, their handle, and then it said super follower underneath it. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? What is that? Because I hadn't seen that before. So then I get to digging around. Okay, so on Facebook, you can get your badge, right? As you were saying. Top fan. But you have to go claim your badge to be top fan, and then it shows up only in that feed for that account. Whereas this one, if you're a super follower, every time you respond to that one, it shows up as well. But you just get it. Once you super follow somebody, you're noted as a super follower. I wouldn't want people
And if
to know
you're
that I'm
noted
paying.
as a super follower from multiple people, will it be on like your page? It says you super follow, blah, 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 blah.
Not that I saw. It didn't show up on her timeline or on her bio.
Just on that
It
response.
just, every time she responded to that account that she super followed, then it would show up as being a super follower. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that. I don't want people to know I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants to know that.
I can see, like, because there's some crazy fan accounts for certain celebrities, like Britney Spears. There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of fan accounts for Britney Spears.
Yeah.
So I could see someone wanting, like, notoriety for being, like, the biggest Britney Spears super fan. So that way it's like, you know, this person will know what they're talking about if they bring up anything Britney Spears. And I could totally see it working for like those accounts. For me personally, individually, I wouldn't want that because I don't feel like I'm necessarily like obsessed with anyone.
Okay,
to
I'm
the
following.
Right.
This is a corgi that I'm following. That's who had the super follower.
Oh gosh.
The corgi did. His
corgi.
name is Pavlov. Pavlov the corgi. The corgi. There he is.
Oh, okay.
That's him. See, and I don't get an option for a super follow, but he has super followers that I guess get some really great new content. I'm not sure what all they're getting on the backside of this, but
Ridiculous.
Corgi content. Interesting.
something secret that I don't get to see apparently.
Doesn't it intrigue you enough to become a super follower?
No, it does not. No, it does
See,
not.
and I think this is going to be a very like niche thing for people who are like super fans of certain accounts.
Good point.
And so you have to be like
I would do this for Rip.
straight up.
I would super follow Rip, in a
Rip off
heartbeat.
You would
Yellowstone.
super follow Rip in a heartbeat. That's going to be the name of today's episode, by the way.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
Yes.
I saw on like one of his most recent like Instagram posts, his hair's more like blonde in real life.
I know.
And then he shaved his beard, and I was like, no.
Nope. I don't like to see the real person.
I like
don't-
fantasy Rip.
Me too.
I
One
need
they
to-
built is
Yes.
awesome.
I
It's
want
perfect.
him forever. Fantasy Rip.
Yeah.
I don't want real life Rip.
I don't either because he doesn't look like not even close.
It's really disappointing, actually.
It is. It really
Not
is.
that I have
know
any
what?
room.
Don't
to
you have a
say
sticker on
anything.
your truck about Rip?
Yeah. It says don't make me
But you
send
don't
Rip.
want people to know that you're a super follower. But you have a
I said
super.
I would super follow Rip.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This
True.
is obviously.
Okay.
Because my truck does say don't make me send
Okay,
Rip.
I will keep watching his accounts, and if he ever signs up for super follows to allow fans, I will let you know
Please.
right away. And then you have to let me know this exclusive content.
What if
But
it's all like shirtless content?
If it's all blonde, I'm going to be pissed. Because
yeah,
I want
it
Rip.
has to be Rip content, not like real life. What's his actor name? What's his
I
name?
know. I don't even know.
Oh gosh.
Does it matter?
So are you a super follower if you don't even know his real name?
Well,
Yeah, good
I
point.
follow Rip,
She likes the fantasy rip.
Yes, she likes fantasy rip.
Right. And that like kind of brings me to something else. Like, it's so crazy that people are so obsessed with characters that people play instead of the actual people. Like, season 3 of You just came out.
Cole Hauser.
Cole Hauser. Yes, I knew that.
Yeah, when you look up Cole Hauser, it looks nothing like Rip.
Yeah,
I think it's weird when you see somebody you like a character and then you see them as an actor or whatever doing an interview. You're like, that's not
my person.
Or even when I love The Sopranos and you'd see those guys out doing press during The Sopranos, like, you are a weenie. Like on the show, you are a stud,
tough guy.
Yeah, and I don't like this.
Another one is Outlander, and the guy who plays in Outlander, and that have you ever seen the show?
No.
You would like it a lot. It has a little fantasy in it. There's some time travel that's involved in it, but it's all set way back in history. It's real time. It takes place like in the 1940s. Oh. And then there's time travel back to the 1800s or something. It's in Scotland.
Okay.
So that's the guy that plays it, Sam.
Okay.
But in the show, he does not look at all like that. He's kind of like, that's the Rip thing.
Right.
Yes. Which I got to give him credit for because both of them, well, I don't know does Cole have an English accent? I know Beth
if he does, I don't want to hear it.
I know Beth does. And I don't want to hear that at all.
I know, it's weird. I didn't realize that Idris Elba had an accent until I saw him on The Office, and I'm like, and then you see her in interviews, you're like, dude, what?
Yeah,
it ruins it for me.
It does.
But like, okay, so You season 3 that just came out. But girls are obsessed with like the creepy, murderous, weird, like he's a psychopath, Joe.
Right.
People are obsessed. And like Penn Badgley, the guy who actually like plays him, did an interview where he was like, you girls need to stop being obsessed with this character because it's super unhealthy. And
true. It is super creepy. Because have you watched any of the seasons of that?
Oh my gosh.
You need to watch. It's
Start
really
with season
dark
1.
and good. Really
I'd
good.
never even heard of it, to be honest with you.
You on Netflix, it was like one of their biggest shows. And like, you just have to go watch it. It's this guy who is creepily obsessed with people and just kills people on accident.
Yeah.
But like girls that he's dating, like he becomes obsessed. He like collects their underwear and like their teeth and like
he learns everything about
and their
them.
tampons.
Like after he kills them, he collects their teeth?
No.
Well, he has
during the process.
Yeah, you'll have to watch it.
You just have to watch it.
Ew.
And in season 3, he like is married and has a baby and is like trying to change, but then his wife keeps killing people. I don't want to give too much away. I'm only 3
What the
episodes.
hell?
I'm only 3 episodes deep on season 3, so I'm gonna go home and binge that tonight. But you should watch it. It's
All right.
pretty big and trending right now.
It's really good. It's really good. Another one that blew my mind too, talking about TV shows and actors, is House. Remember the doctor on House? British accent, just thick as can be. And you're just, how do they do that? I got
genius.
It is. It's amazing.
Can I hear your British accent?
Mine does.
Please try.
I don't think I can.
I don't have one. Hello.
That's
all I can say. That's it. One word.
Hello.
Can you say, "Can I have a cup of tea"?
I can't. I really can't say more.
Tea?
Yeah,
You sound like Miss Pot from Beauty and the Beast,
right?
like Miss Doubtfire.
I always think of. I'd like some more, please.
Is this Harry Potter or
Right?
Beauty and the Beast?
There we go. I know. And it's got to be up high. It's don't go by. I imagine the Queen talks like this.
It's all everybody's high pitched.
Yes.
I'm
Without a
concerned
doubt.
if you ever get a role in like a British movie.
I won't.
It won't.
It won't even happen. Speaking to, and one other thing that I had to throw out there, I found I like Nextdoor.
Oh, the app?
Oh my God. You just got to go through and just kind of scroll through because every once in a while there'll be a little spat that goes on or somebody will post something and somebody takes offense to it.
Neighborhood drama.
Yes. And you get the email announcing, the big post of the day. And it's just enough to tease you that you hit click to go see it and it's already been taken down. You're like, dang it. I bet that was a cat fight. Because they were going after each other on that one. But they put out their treat map so you can see what houses are letting everybody know that we're decorated.
Oh.
Or we have candy or both. So they have all the little symbols so you can add your...
But what if you're not on Nextdoor? Then your house is just dark.
It's just dark.
Yeah,
and what's really weird is that in my neighborhood, there were all these, of course not mine, but there were a lot of them that have yes, we have treats. Yes, we have decorations. Come on over. So to let everybody know what's going on. Right across the way from me and not too far is Linden Estates.
Fancy pants,
Fancy
rich
pants.
land.
Yeah, nobody is notified. Nobody says anything about having treats.
I bet are there a lot
Full-size
of
candy bars, baby.
That's what when we used to go through Regency when we were little, and you get these humongous things. But maybe the rich people aren't on next door. Are there a lot on
I can't
next door?
imagine that they're not.
Maybe they have like other things to do.
No.
My thing, like what I've noticed in my 28 years of living is like the richest and like happiest people I know are not on any social media.
No. The happiest people, not necessarily the richest.
Yeah, the yeah, I mean, there's always cases.
Here's the treat map. I'm going to see how it looks now. Oh, yep, there you go. And this right here, this is the...
If you click on your house, is it just like a gif of a cat hissing?
Yep.
Oh, gosh. See, I live in an apartment, so I don't have to do anything.
You skated. Yeah. We go dark too. We don't do anything. I mean, the kids went through that whole thing, and that was fun when they were doing it, but now it's like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't Halloween on a Saturday this year?
Ooh, goodness. Is it really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because we were going to take the kids to a, Halloween's technically on a Sunday, but they'll do it on Saturday. Yeah, we're going to take the kids to the Purdue game that day, and they're both like, well, we got plans, so we can't go. Even if it's an 11 o'clock game, like, well, we have to get back and be like, dude, you guys have been begging to go to a Husker game forever.
They seriously are going to give it up for, what are they doing on
I don't
Saturday
know. I'll
night?
find out on my FYP. All my daughter's friends. Just sitting there in the dark, swiping through these teen lives.
Yes. Oh my God. Stop
Gross.
that. Stop watching the videos.
Parental monitoring.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, one time you can watch them one time.
But that's all it
That's
needs
all it takes,
to get
though,
into your
isn't it?
algorithm.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so good enough. All right, so this wasn't so bad, was it?
No.
You're
This was-
part of our first, basically our first Hurrdat.
It's our first.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I was going to tell you because I started talking about this before she came in. Found out what Airbnb means.
Oh yeah, what?
Okay.
It's not bed and breakfast?
So it is bed and breakfast, but funny thing, and of all people, you know who asked me that? My dad. What does Airbnb mean? What does it mean? Because he knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That it's a place where people can stay, right?
Yeah.
But what does it mean? And I'm like, I don't know. So I grabbed my phone. And I'm like, you have a phone like this, Dad. You could have done this too. Just search it in meaning, right? The people who started it, they joked around about having an air mattress to throw in the spare room and rent it out.
Oh.
And that
What?
air
That's brilliant.
bed and breakfast is what they called it. Their air mattress bed and breakfast,
Wow.
which
That's
became
genius.
Airbnb.
There's some really, really cool ones popping up in Omaha and Lincoln.
Seriously.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening and you know anyone that has an Airbnb in Omaha or Lincoln, you should for sure message us, join the Facebook group, and post about it in there.
Yeah.
That would maybe be a cool episode to like bring on an Airbnb host. And
I'm
have
really
them tell
curious
stories.
because when you see, every once in a while, of course, they only focus on the bad stories, right? So the only time Airbnb gets in the news is when something awful happens. And there are thousands of Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Thousands of them, right? So there's thousands of success stories. And here in Omaha, even like you were talking about, there are so many, and you've got College World Series. I mean, for some people, it makes sense just to leave their house for a week and rent it out.
Yeah.
Daytona, a friend, they did Airbnb down there. And down there, it's like everybody that's near the racetrack at Daytona, it's like all the people go on vacation that week and rent out their houses because they can get so much money for them.
There's your mortgage for the next 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Off of like one weekend.
off of a weekend. And just because people it's easier than staying in 3 or 4 rooms in a hotel and then going to a restaurant.
100%.
Yeah.
Way simpler. Yeah.
I
So
have a friend in Lincoln. He like lives in a pretty luxurious building in the Haymarket area. It's like right across the street from Barry's. So he lives there and he has an apartment, and then he owns 2 other apartments that he rents out for Airbnb. He's completely booked out till December.
wow.
So he's making
Bank.
bank.
Totally.
and then he's like after that, for like the first 3 months in 2022. Oh, that's weird to say. He's going to rent it out to traveling nurses because they're always looking for spots.
Genius.
For
And that's
long-term.
and that's funny you say that
Genius.
too, because somebody, God, one of the threads that I was looking at, somebody was thinking about doing an Airbnb. And that's exactly what one person said, rent it out to traveling nurses because they're really clean and they leave it nicer than it was when they came
And
in.
they're barely home.
And they just need a place to put their stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you don't even think about that because for a lot of us, we don't even realize that that's a thing. Traveling nurses.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
huge.
Especially
right
now.
now.
Especially now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I got that in 2.
We got a lot in there. That's 28 minutes of glory.
What?
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank
great.
you guys for having me. This was fun.
Absolutely. So first Hurrdat.
First Hurrdat. 402-403-9478. Text us or it's Pat and JT, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Join that Facebook group.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.